Is this on? Yes. Mike, hi, Jürgen again. After we talked earlier today, I came in here and turned on the machine, and I had again troubles with the sensor not seeing your clear labels, or not seeing the gap between the clear labels. So I taught it again, and then it worked fine again. And maybe it was just my imagination. I'm not quite sure, but this clear label of yours is very, very tricky. No doubt about that. But anyway, it works fine again. But if you run into problems with that, on a clear label sensor, it's important. So here, this for example, this is an optical label sensor, which you don't need in your case. An optical label sensor looks at the color difference on a gap. A clear label sensor measures the distance between the paper. Measures how thick the paper is. So, and that's why on a clear label sensor, the paper needs to be consistent, always in the same spot. So, when you teach the sensor, you cannot just take this paper and pull it up and down like here. You could pull it down like this, right? Because then you're not really simulating what the machine does. So here's how you would want to do that. There's in the touchscreen here, there's those two buttons or those two buttons that advance the paper or retract the paper. Let me show you. So now I'm pushing those two buttons at the same time, okay? And see what happens. It's pulling paper back. Instead of advancing, it's pulling it back. If you're pushing those two buttons, it's pushing the paper forward. So the way you want to teach the sensor, you peel off this label here, right here, which is now the last label. You peel it off. You move the paper under the paper without the label on it. You move it up here, so the sensor only looks at the paper. Then you push this yellow button for 2-3 seconds until this yellow LED flashes, and then you very quickly push those two buttons. You go back and forth and teach the sensor like that, and that will then work fine for you. So this is a trick, a shortcut key that makes it possible for you to teach this machine, to teach the sensor. Now, you asked me about how do I move the position of the label. Well, that's done in two ways. When you're in online mode, now we dispense the label, of course. When you're in online mode, you push this button, and now you have offset here. This is your start offset. If you make the number smaller, the label will go forward on the pouch. If you make the number bigger, you make the label go to the rear of the pouch. So basically, when you take your pouches and you switch around like this, then the label would have to start earlier, which means you would probably move this number to 200 or 180. Right? So this is a change you can do while the machine is running. When you are in that screen, by the way, one last thing I want to mention here, you see here speed, it's 0. It's because the conveyor is off. I'm turning the conveyor on, and you see the speed now, right? And it goes all the way up to 30 meters a minute, because that's the maximum dispense speed of the labeler. So I slew down the conveyor speed for matching the labeler. Now, if you're in this screen, you push and hold, you just push those two buttons right here. Now you are in this profile 1 green. I just made this label, I called it green for the lack of anything better. Now you're in the online mode, and now pushing the second button, now you're in offline. So now the second place where you can change the position is on a label setup, which you push this button on the right side. Now you confirm, yes, I want to go into label setup. Or you could scroll down to machine setup, and other label setup and machine setup are the only ones you really need to go into. So anyway, this is the enter button, right? Label setup. Yes, I want to confirm I'm going into label setup. Load product profile. That's where you would load different products, different labels you save. And now we go into label pitch. Of course, all this wants to match the length of the label plus a gap. And this is now the stop offset. The stop offset is the distance between sensor reading the gap and label stopping. So right now, this is where we are. We actually could change that a little bit. We actually could go maybe to 25 millimeters. So anyway, then the next one where we want to go to, sorry, I'm going the wrong way, is the start offset. You see here the 280. You can make the change here as well, right? So this is in the back end under label setup, but this is the only adjustment you can do when the machine is running. This number, the start offset, which is the placement of the label on your patch. That one you can do while you're running. Now, we don't want to make any changes here, but what I do want to do now, I want to save what I just did, just so I show you. So I go into label setup, no, I go into machine setup, store product profile. Look, I made profile 1 green. Yes, I want to write over that one. Storing. Now, there is no other program in here, so it will automatically go into that program anyway. But let's say you have 10 different programs. You go into label setup and you load a product profile. Profile 1 is green, and there's no other profile stored yet, right? So that's the only one. So I don't really need to load that, but I could. Load green, yes, no. Okay, I'm not going to load it right now because that will then restart the machine. Anyway, so again, online, push the right button. Now you can make changes here to offset. And to get out of the screen, hold both buttons at the same time. Online, offline. Fair enough? Thanks, Mike.